A high school girl recently transformed into a demon needs to feed upon her male classmates to maintain her new powers. Let's go, virgins, because we watched Jennifer's Body.
Good to have blood, ain't you?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Never come back again.
All out of bubblegum.
Start again first.
Wasted call. It's coming from inside the house.
All right, everybody, welcome to Slashers and Screamers. We are a proud production of Slasher Sports, and we're glad to have you with us today while we discuss one of the best demon movies I know. Now, I'm Final Girl Casey, and I'll welcome my co-hosts. We have the Memphis Menace, Rick. Rick, you didn't seem super excited for this one, talking about it last time. How'd you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. It really wasn't my favorite, to be honest.
Maybe not your least favorite, though, and that's all we could hope for. All right, and we have the Godfather of Droll James. James.
Talk about deja vu. I seen this movie one time.
How'd you feel
I
about
thought
it?
it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty decent.
That's one of the nicest things I've ever heard you say about a movie featured on this podcast.
But you know what movie I like better?
I don't.
Top Gun.
Can't argue with that logic, I guess. And Billy Graves, the man with no nicknames.
I've earned no nickname, nor have I earned anything in life. It's all been given to me. But you know,
Oh,
this
he's
film
got plenty of nicknames.
So this film, Jennifer's Body, was so frightening. The only logical thing to do was to make a music, and that's what
Yeah.
they did. And it was so frightening, I could not see.
Does it scare you, Bill?
Yeah, it scares me.
Does it scare you to your core?
Well, no, like more superficial scared. You know, it's more of a skin
Superficial
deep kind
scared. Is
Yeah,
that
kind of
make-believe
a-
scared?
No, just kind of skin deep. You know, I'll go, and then I'm good to go. Nothing too frightening.
It's pretty gross, though.
Yeah, there's some good little what the fuck moments. And you know what? Speaking of what the fuck moments, this film won some awards. One of which was it was nominated, for the best WTF moment at the MTV Movie Awards in 2010 for Megan Fox and her vomiting of the mysterious black ooze. Yeah, can't leave that running too long. We'll get sued. Kenny Loggins will come and just clean us out.
Bill, when you see Kenny Loggins with them aviators on, it gets me fired up every time.
I've literally never seen the video to that, and I guess I'm going to have to find it.
If it didn't mess our audio up, I'd send it to you.
True story, I'm friends with Kenny Loggins' cousin. I'll just tell his cousin that we do this.
What?
Yeah.
Who's friends with Kenny Loggins' husband?
No, friends with Kenny Loggins' cousin. His nephew.
Kenny Loggins' cousin? Yeah, Freddie Loggins?
He's Kyle.
Oh, my God.
So how do you know Freddie Loggins?
Can I get Freddie Loggins' autograph?
I'm done talking.
Wait a
We
minute.
need to know.
This needs more.
Name is Kyle. I worked with him. He's Kenny Loggins' nephew.
Nephew or cousin? The story is changing.
Kenny Loggins is his cousin.
It went from being his husband.
We're gonna get sued.
What are you doing, James?
What?
They
I
will
got
take
Kenny Loggins.
They
Kenny
will take
Loggins'
this podcast down with
best
the quickness.
hits. Who's going to?
They have software that picks up music.
This could put us on the map, Bill. On
Yeah,
the map.
by ripping off Kenny Loggins, we're gonna get on the map.
Backwoods podcasts get sued over 2-second clip of Kenny Loggins. Hey, we know his cousin, okay? I play any Kenny Loggins video I want to now.
I used to play
Yeah, I
Gin
know his
Rummy
cousin.
with Freddie Loggins. His wife Carolyn still has my casserole dish. How's
Well,
bragging camp going, Rick?
oh my God.
Oh,
Good.
Lord.
Hey, did y'all know that I was
Yeah,
almost
these are
run over
Kenny
by the honky
Loggins.
tonk man when I was little?
What?
It's true.
Tell the story, please.
Well,
the
it's not.
honky-tonk
it's-
man?
Yeah, the honky tonk man, the 80s wrestler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was every bit of 5 years old, 4 years old. WWF, now WWE, you don't want to get sued by the World Wildlife Fund. They came to town in Nashville, and we went to the Municipal Auditorium, and I am holding my parents' hands as we're walking across the parking lot, and unbeknownst to me, but knownst to my parents, this car was just racing down the parking lot, and they just took off running with me in hand, and I didn't know what was going on. And either my stepdad or my mom turned around and saw who it was. She says, "Well, I'll be damned. That's the honky tonk man." And it sure was. And he was there to wrestle Jake the Snake Roberts that night.
And you lived to
that's
tell
all.
the tale.
I live to tell the tale. He's probably got a hit
That's
on
the
me to
best
this
story.
day, but he'll never find me.
Billy, that's an amazing story. Thank you for sharing.
I once played 5-card stud with Kenny Rogers.
Well, if there's anybody you don't want to play cards with, it's Kenny Rogers.
You probably lost.
Are you talking about the singer or the guy that used to pitch for the Rangers? What if it was the
singer,
Rangers
Bill,
pitcher?
Kenny Rogers.
What if
I don't know nothing about no baseball pitcher.
Did he play for the A's?
I don't know that he played for the A's. I know he played for the Rangers for sure.
Bill Rogers.
Well, back on the Nasty Nine podcast, guys, cover the Brewers and the way they shit out of the playoffs. Oh, wait, nope, we're not doing the Nasty Nine podcast. We're doing the Slashers and Screamers podcast. Are we not?
We are, yeah.
Well, I don't guess I
Stop
get
bringing
to
up
talk about
baseball.
one of my favoriteest songs.
Not right now. Maybe later. But anyway, that's really cool that this movie had that nomination for Best Gross Out Moment, because that moment, pretty gross. Pretty
I forgot that we
spooky.
were talking about that.
Pretty scary. Mysterious. You know what else is mysterious, Billy?
Yeah, like why do we park on a driveway and drive on a parkway? We'll
That's
never
one
know.
of many things. But another thing is the unknown. And you know what I don't know right now? What the Crack the Case is going to be this week.
Oh my lord. Well, I know, and if you must know,
I gotta know.
then let's get down to business. We're going to play a round of Crack
do
the
it.
Case, and you know the rules, but I'm going to say them anyway for anybody who's tuning in for the first time, and like really, why would you tune in for the first time? Crack the Case is a lot like headbands, you know, the game where you put something on your forehead and you have to ask questions to guess who you are. Well, in this case, we've got a mystery that needs to be solved, and I, as the moderator, will field questions from our investigators, Casey, Rick, and James. But the answers to those questions can only be the following: yes, no, yes and no, irrelevant, I don't know, define what you mean by, and rephrase your question. And through those questions, our investigators must crack the case. This week's case, Down and Out. And the case is as follows. A man is found unconscious. You like that, James? A man is found unconscious on the floor. His clothing is scorched. The mystery, what happened to the man? And you know, guys, we've actually kind of been playing this a little bit incorrectly. I wouldn't say incorrectly, because the solution...
I knew it all along.
Hang on. We're not playing incorrectly. Sometimes,
Hadn't we already had this case?
no, we have not.
Nope.
Wasn't he
And,
electrocuted or something by the Wicked Witch of the West or something?
You're
That's two
mixing
different
up.
cases we've had.
Yeah, definitely different cases. But
I got a
Listen.
question.
well, hang on. Let me tell you this before you.
Whoa.
It might soothe your ill, James. Okay,
I'm not ill.
you sound ill.
I'm not ill, Bill. Let me tell you what happened to me last night, Bill.
If you must, we'll go ahead and just put this off to the side and hear what the fuck you got to say.
I drove home last night from Gainesboro, Tennessee.
That's not even a real place.
Had a football game. Well, I got home and the key broke off in the lock, Bill.
Mm.
So I had to kick a damn door off of hinges.
You kicked the door in
Yep,
like Jack Bauer.
that's right.
James, you're Batman.
Said, don't mess with me, Bill. Or I'll kick your door in.
Don't mess with me, Bill. I've got a torn ACL.
I'm still doing good because I was able to put a new doorknob on today.
It's still off the hinges, but there's a new goddamn knob on it.
There's a new knob on that door laying out in the yard. But anyway, that's not why I'm upset.
Oh, there's more.
You know, all them times I've sang those songs on here, and nobody's ever said nothing about a copyright.
Well, you can sing it. You can't play
But
it.
play one little tune, and Billy's panties getting a twist.
Pannies, Pannies.
I like your panties, Bill.
They're all twisted up.
Yeah. Hey, I'm looking out
All
for
right.
you, man. Because what
Tell
if
me
you've
how
done
you
a...
cheated me on this game several times.
Well, first, James,
What they
what
gonna do
if...
to me? They gonna
Well-
sue moi?
Yeah, they're going to sue Toi. And...
Yeah, for copyright.
Yeah, man. Listen, you're just lucky that you were playing Kenny and Freddie Loggins and not Don Henley. Don Henley would have already been knocking on your door. That's how anal
Can't
he
knock
is
on a
about
door
it.
that's sitting in the yard.
He's
And the buzzer sound.
James, your laundry's done.
You know what that was? That was the fight bill, Bill. I'm here to
Okay.
infringe on everybody's. I'm here to infringe on everybody's rights. Onward,
All right.
onward.
Well, all right. So here's what we've been doing, and it's not
I'm
necessarily
700%
wrong.
Irish, and I'm ready to go.
I know it. So, guys, look, I'll ask you what the mystery in this case. It's what happened to the man. Well, that doesn't necessarily answer what the solution is. The solution on the back of the card here tells me everything, and that's what you really have to find out because it's pretty easy. If you know that his clothing is scorched, and the mystery is what happened to the man, the first person that says he got burned, well, ding ding, you're the winner. But that's not necessarily how it's going to go down, right? So we have a whole solution, and the details of that solution are what you really need to find out. So again, the mystery is a man is found unconscious on the floor. His clothing is scorched. The mystery, what happened to the man? Start asking those questions. JB, we're going to start with you, since you're so damn irate.
Bill, does this have anything to do with a Blackstone grill?
No, but they're pretty damn great, aren't they? We're not even sponsored by Blackstone Griddles.
But we could be.
Man, we could be. I've got one. I rock the hell
They
out
say
on.
nothing like that, Bill.
They're going to hit me for
I like
copyrights.
Fritos and Diet Mountain Dew, too.
Oh my god.
We almost had a sponsor from smoothmyballs.com.
Yeah, what happened with that?
So you're gonna give out the name of the company and go ahead
Well,
and promote for them,
yeah.
even though we're not sponsored by it?
Yeah, because I'm going to bury him is what I'm going to do.
Oh
I'm
my
not
God.
going to... Yeah, this is not a...
Well,
this
I've
is,
got $1,000 saved for this lawsuit, so here we go.
That's $500 per ball. So the problem I had with this, they reached out and they said, "Hey, your podcast fits the criteria for the types of ambassadors that we'd like to have on our team." Well, yeah,
Mostly
that's
me.
Mostly you, because you're the target audience here for your humongous balls. And
Thanks.
you're welcome. Well, the problem is what they want out of us is to buy this package, to buy this kit, and then they'll make us ambassadors. So, like, on what planet does it make sense that I have to buy a kit in order to make money? So I'm already giving you airtime on our podcast.
You know what it sounds like?
I know what it's
A
like.
scheme.
Oh, I'm glad you said that
A scheme,
word.
a grift,
I
A
like the word
pyramid
grift.
scheme?
I don't.
maybe.
I don't know that
A
it's
Ponzi
pyramid.
scheme?
It's definitely Ponzi-ish, but I don't like it.
R.I.P. Bernie Madoff. R.I.P.
Yeah,
Mm,
all right.
But we didn't do it, is the ultimate
Oh, we didn't
end to
do
that
it.
tale.
We didn't do it. I'll fucking nair my balls before
I don't
I
think you're
hop on
supposed
it.
to do that.
Well, that's why I say that's what makes this hyperbole work. The fact that I would do that before I got on board with these grifters.
I'm just letting our good listeners who use Nair know, and they're out there. Probably don't put it on your balls.
If you or your significant other have balls,
Somebody probably has, I'm sure.
on average, there's probably one ball per person on average because I don't know.
Something like that.
We have a lot of who are.
What?
Yeah.
I'm just going by that.
So anyway, there's a man.
There's a man who's lying unconscious and his clothing is scorched. What happened to him, James? Oh, wait a minute. You asked the question. It
He
did
got
not
too
have.
close to the barbecue.
This did not have anything to do with the Blackstone griddle. Hit us up, Blackstone. Rick.
Does it have anything to do with a fire?
You got fucking Robert Stack over here. Fucking John Walsh on the case. Yes, it had something to do with fire. James, we're gonna pitch it to you. No, I mean, Casey,
No,
we're
I
gonna
haven't
pitch it to you.
asked.
Yeah, you haven't asked
I've
anything.
already went, Bill. I've
Yeah.
already went.
Someone laid down the Uno skip card on me, I guess.
Does anybody remember Rescue 911
Yeah, my stepdad
Yeah.
cried
with
watching that
William
one
Shatner?
time. Bill Shatner, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Bill
Okay,
Shatner pudding.
I'm going to ask my question.
Please.
Thank you. Is he like inside his own home?
No, he is not inside his own home. James.
Was the man playing with dragons, Bill?
No, he was not. You like dragons?
Billy?
No, I do not.
Casey, do you like dragons?
No.
Rick, you like dragons?
Sure.
How about dragging these balls across your lips?
Oh, shit.
Rick, how could you?
I'm so
Oh,
glad
man.
you did. I'm so glad you did, Rick. James, you asked a question, didn't you?
2 peas in a coffee can.
Rick,
What?
your
Yeah,
question.
he asked if it had anything to do with dragons, to
It
which
did
you
not.
started on your thing.
I know. I got sidetracked. Rick, it is your question.
Was the fire? Oh my god!
Still stuck on it.
All right. Oh, shit. Okay.
Was the fire started by dragging these balls across your forehead?
It wouldn't happen if you used an air on them.
Okay. Was the fire started?
That's quite a bit of fiction, Brill. That is quite a bit of friction, Bill.
Thank you for the do-over.
Okay. Was the fire started intentionally?
Yes, the fire was started intentionally. Casey,
Did the man set himself on fire? Or did someone else do it?
define what you mean. What? Yeah, rephrase that question.
So there was a fire. Presumably
Mhm.
he was in the fire. His clothes are burnt. Did he start the fire or did someone else?
Is that a question that I can answer in these specified forms?
Oh, you're right. Did someone else start the fire?
We didn't start the
No,
fire.
no, I don't
Okay.
need to do this.
Okay, I can't take it anymore.
Ryan started the fire.
Yes, the fire was started by someone else.
Okay.
And we're back around to you, James. And after this round, I'm going to give that first clue.
Let me see here.
What accent's that this week?
That is my German doctor accent, Bill.
Okay.
Let me see.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can
that
hear it
sounds
now.
more like, Is this man still alive, Bill?
He is still alive.
We'll just wait for him to wake up and tell us who did it.
Well, case closed. God damn. Rick, your question.
Was the dude smoking?
Define what you mean by smoking.
Like, was he smoking a cigarette that caused the fire?
Or a
No,
jazz cigarette.
he was not. Casey, your question.
Is he indoors when he's found?
Yes, he is.
Okay, cool.
All right, that's 3 rounds, so here come the first clue. There are many little footprints outside the house, JB.
Does this man deliver presents to all the good little girls and boys?
Yes, he does, and would you like to solve?
It was Santa Claus and he fell down a chimney.
Investigators must discover that the unconscious man was Santa Claus, who had fainted from fireplace fumes as he climbed down a chimney. Oh, you know, I just complained
Up on the
yesterday.
rooftop, reindeer falls. Here comes good old Santa Claus.
James, we're going to get
Ho, ho,
sued
ho.
by Bing Crosby.
Who wouldn't know? Who?
I don't think Bing Crosby's saying that.
Oh,
The
ho,
ghost of
ho,
Bing Crosby
who
might be
wouldn't
offended.
know?
Hey, we've talked about his grandson, right? In
Bing
some movie.
Crosby?
We?
Didn't
Yeah,
we?
he was in Madman.
Nah,
Sleepaway
was it
Camp.
Madman? Yeah, it was Madman. I was thinking
He
it
was
was
the
Who's
cook in
Next.
Sleepaway Camp.
That's
No, that
definitely
was
not him.
Not him. That was James Earl
No,
Jones'
he was
dad.
the other guy.
Yeah, that was Jim Earl Jones's kid. I mean,
Jim
dad.
Earl Jones.
Yeah.
I am victorious, Bill.
You are victorious. How do you feel about
Bend
that?
the knee to me, Bill.
The
All right, hang
cerebral
on.
assassin strikes again.
Yeah, we're getting a little crazy with the bend the knee shit.
My mind is as sharp as a steel trap. Once again,
Well, congratulations, James.
Yeah, congrats, man. I didn't think you had it in you, but I should have known that anything that had to do with presents you'd get.
that's right, Bill.
But you know, I was I was complaining yesterday. I want to get you guys' opinion. This is not horror centric, but I saw Die Hard was playing on Sci-Fi, and it was actually a marathon, but I caught the end of the marathon because it was the first one. I don't know why they always do that. They play them in reverse order no matter what it is.
Can I just say one thing, Bill?
If you must.
Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, and sometimes they stink.
Man, you should write a book with your memoirs. So pass
That
it around
is the
as
name of the book, Bill. That's going to be the name of the book.
That's a really long title, James. But my question...
No, just opinions are like assholes. That's the name of the book.
Okay, so it's not getting sold in
No,
Walmart.
that is true.
Walmart sponsor us. So my question to you guys was, I'd tweeted that Die Hard was on Sci-Fi and jokingly said, can't we get through Halloween and Thanksgiving before they start playing Christmas movies?
Oh, the ultimate question.
Yeah, and that turned into a debate, I guess you could say. Good friend of mine, she probably never listened to the show whatsoever, but the conversation...
Oh, how's your good friend, Bill?
Oh, you are my good friend. Am I only allowed to have one good friend? I thought I was allowed to have like one best friend, James.
Well, Bill,
you know what? You need to get over your insecurity. Is what you need to do.
That is true. That is true.
Well, listen,
You hit
here's
the nail on the head, Bill.
Here's what my friend I Simply Kia said on Twitter. She says Hallmark has already started, and it's the proper time for Die Hard as it's not a Christmas movie. And
Whoa.
yeah, that is that's damn near fighting words.
Got a couple problems with that sentence.
I got problems with both of those sentences too. So that brings me to my question. I responded, it is most certainly a Christmas movie, thank you very much. And what do I get? I get the Rocky Balboa gif where he's just rubbing his forehead as if to say, Billy, you're full of shit. And on most days, I would be more violent about this, okay? But I was sleepy. And, somebody came to the defense. I don't even follow this guy, but he says Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie. And another person says, or gives the Michael Scott thank you gif. I don't like this whatsoever. Whatsoever.
So now you're coming to us.
I'm coming to you guys because I need some backup on this. And hear me out. I said it takes place during a Christmas party. There's Christmas music. Santa Claus is in it. John McClane's wife's name is Holly. And it consistently outperforms other Christmas movies during Christmas season on cable. And it snows at the end. Christmas staple, case in point. What say yous?
Oh, me, Bill. The less you respond to negativity, the more peaceful your life becomes.
What are you eating? Fortune cookies over there out of the bag?
Okay, Bill.
Who plays... What are we watching? Die Hard? Who plays Die Hard on the Sci-Fi Channel?
You know what? That wasn't even my first question, and it felt, I guess it feels like it should have been. I was just so taken aback. I was just so taken aback that a marathon, nonetheless, not just Die Hard, but the whole marathon.
Why is there a Die Hard marathon on the Sci-Fi Channel? There's nothing sci-fi about Die Hard.
And it's not Christmas time.
They ain't no aliens in Die Hard. They ain't no Bigfoots in Die Hard.
Are you saying Bigfoot would make something science fiction?
Well, to the simple-minded, yes.
Consider me
but to the
simple.
That are enlightened, no.
I see.
He would call it a
So
documentary.
James, is it a Christmas movie though?
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? That is the question. I'm sorry to get you off.
Isn't there a Christmas tree in Die Hard? It doesn't happen in December. They're at a Christmas party.
James, I just said all that. Did you not hear what I just said to defend my point?
Well, my mind was blown, Bill, about the Sci-Fi Channel.
And they say things like ho ho ho. And
is there a
Merry Christmas,
werewolf?
And I have
is there a werewolf
gun.
in Die Hard?
No, that's the only thing that kept it from getting an Academy Award.
That's the only thing it was missing, Bill, is John McClane wasn't a werewolf.
Yeah. Well, okay, so you're defending me in that case, James, that Die Hard is indeed a Christmas movie.
Well, Bill, I didn't say it wasn't a Christmas movie.
You didn't, and that is why my phrase ended with a question mark, James. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Oh, you're asking me?
No, he's asking.
I think it's a movie for all ages, Bill. I've got the original Die Hard on VHS tape.
I'm gonna
Why
pee
don't
my
you just-
pants. James, is it a Christmas movie?
Yes or no?
You know, when they originally wrote that book,
Oh,
what Die Hard come from, wasn't nothing about no Christmas in there, Bill.
That's right. That is right.
But that was the book, and this is the movie. So take what you will from that.
Thank you for that non-answer, James. Casey,
It's a Christmas movie. It's always
It's
been
a
a Christmas movie. It's
it's
always
a
gonna
fucking-
be a Christmas movie.
thank you.
One of my favorite Christmas movies. Maybe number
Ricardo.
one.
Ricardo,
Yes.
get
Unequivocally, yes.
you just
What
pulled
does unequivocally mean?
you just pulled unequivocally out of your ass, and I
Look it up
admire you
in web-
for it.
If I seen a string up somebody's ass, at the end of that string would be equivalently attached to the Y of that word would be that string.
Casey, save us from this.
Yes. Oh, I can. You know what we could do?
What could we do?
We could talk about
Review
the movie.
who won, crack the case one more time.
Yes, James, you won Crack the Case. We're very proud of you. You're always the cerebral assassin, we know. But Billy, I was thinking we could talk about this movie today.
Yes, we most
And I think
definitely
I know
can.
someone who could get the ball rolling, get us into it. Right?
Oh,
Rick?
is he a?
Rick, can we get that rundown?
Could he be a?
Post-haste?
I was going to say, could he be a stand-in for Jackie Earl Haley? If so, then it must be Rick.
Is the rundown attached to a string this week?
All right. So this week we did Jennifer's Body. It came out on September 10th, 2009 at an independent film festival, and then it was released on September 18th, 2009. It's classified as a comedy/horror film. The director is Karen Kusama. She was known for doing her directorial film debut in a sports drama called Girl Fight that came on in 2000. The running time of this movie is 102 minutes. It was made in the United States. The language is English. It's rated R. The budget was $16 million. It only did $31.6 million. So it didn't really do that well at the box office. Actors and actresses, pretty much mainly actresses in this film. Megan Fox played Jennifer Jennifer Check, excuse me. She's been in multiple movies, franchises. Transformers is a huge one. She's a model. She's been in Maxim, FHM, Rolling Stone, a lot of other films, a pretty big filmography. Amanda Seyfried plays Anita Lesnecki. She was in some soaps on CBS, like As the World Turns and things like that. I'm not really sure what else she was in. I'm sure somebody else can fill me in later on. J.K. Simmons, Mr. Roblinski. He was in Spider-Man. He's been in Law and Order. He's been in the HBO series Oz. He was on The Closer on TNT. Adam Brody as Nikolai Wolf. He's been in The O.C. He's been in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Thank You for Not Smoking. Kyle Gallner as Colin Gray. He was in the drama series Smallville and CSI New York. Cynthia Stevenson as Miss Dove. He was in the syndicated comedy series My Talk Show. He was in sitcoms Bob, Hope, and Gloria. Chris Pratt, Officer Roman Duda. He's been in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's been in Parks and Rec. He's been in a lot of things. And really the last person that was really like big that I can find information on was Lance Hendrickson. He was the driver near the end of the film. He's been in was in Pumpkinhead 2. He's been in a lot of horror stuff. And he's done a lot of voiceovers for some video games like Detroit Become Human. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, thanks, Rick. So we open in this movie to Anita Needy Lesnecki. She is an inmate in what appears to be like a mental health or like prison, right?
Yeah, I can't tell if it's a mental health thing or if she's there in prison because of what we're going to see later on. I took it as prison, and she's, in like solitary confinement.
Yeah, and we see her like kick the shit out of someone talking to her about her food.
Yeah, so like there's nothing
like a position
I wanted.
Of authority.
Right. So I mean, there's nothing I wanted to see more than Amanda Seyfried in a women in prison movie, or at least a small scene. But in my mind, I wanted to see a solo scene, just not her in solitary. So bit of a mix-up. That's all I got.
Well, and it shows her as this like real bad bitch. Like she's tough. Like, people are afraid of her.
Yeah, and it's not what I expected from seeing the trailer, right? Because in the trailer, I see her as this dainty, dorky, girl next door.
So we see her, and she's kind of a bad bitch in prison. But then, of course, we have to flash back to the beginning of the tale. And that's kind of where we see that trailer version, the dorky girl next door type.
Yeah, the one I prefer.
Fair.
So
we see her in a gym full of students, some kind of pep rally situation, and we cut to her best friend, Jennifer Check, Megan Fox. And the first thing someone does is tell Needy that she's gay for Megan Fox, Jennifer.
Yeah,
which
and
we're
that's
all
somebody
gay for Megan Fox.
I'm gay for Megan Fox, I think. I don't know if I qualify.
I do.
I just want to be in the car. That's all I want. I just want to be in the car. But that person who told her such a thing.
Alert.
The person that told her that she was gay for Megan Fox was, I'm pulling up the name because I always mess up on the name. It's like Valerie Chien, I think is her name.
She's the girl from Juno, right?
She is from Juno. She's from a couple of different things. And honestly, if you don't have... Okay, I have to preface with the fact that I'm not the biggest Megan Fox fan. And I do mean superficially, or beyond. But I'm also not the biggest Amanda Seyfried fan. Couple of babes. But, again, superficially, Valerie Chien would get the Hammer Award if she had a bigger role. Valerie Chien is a babe, is a robo-babe.
Rick, James, your votes, cast them. Just us, Billy. My vote is Megan Fox, which seems a little on the nose, but is what it is.
Hang on a minute. I'm looking up something.
The movie Jennifer's Body and the cast.
Maybe. That's Valerie Chien with 2 N's. That's not the same girl.
Yeah, definitely not the same girl.
She's got a big forehead, Bill.
No. Who? What?
Hang on.
We're talking about 2 different people here. We're talking about the Asian girl, right?
Yeah, she's Asian, but she works for CNN now.
Are you looking up Julie Chen? Who's like...
No, Jennifer Chen with 2 N's is somebody who works for CNN.
Not everyone in this movie is named Jennifer. There's only one character named Jennifer. Yeah, this is Valerie Tien. Tien, but it's like pronounced Chen.
Valerie Chen is someone that
Valerie,
you might want to meet in a dark alley.
Tien.
Who?
Lord.
J.K. Simmons is in this movie?
J.K. Simmons is probably the runner-up for the Hammer Award.
That
Chris
wig.
Pratt's in this movie?
That wig, listen, Rick...
That wig is a crime.
It is a crime, because, Rick, you pissed me off a little bit when you didn't name J.K. Simmons in The Lady Killers, which is probably...
So did Valerie Twin even in this movie? Wait a minute.
We have to take away his internet access.
Here we go.
It's Tian, sorry. She plays Chastity.
I don't know. She's got glasses on this one picture, Bill.
Oh, yeah, and that's what I'm all about.
You hate women who can see.
I hate women that can see, yes.
Listen, Jay, the older I get, the more I do, too.
The older I get, the bolder I get.
Hey, Billy, why don't you take off
just
your
one guy?
ball cap? No.
I didn't see no Chris Pratt in this movie, so...
Small role.
He was in the bar.
It says
being
Officer Pratt. What?
Well, don't let it fool you, though, James. He was only in the police academy, and he was not yet finished, so he wasn't in, like, a police uniform.
Okay. Oh.
He's the guy that they talk to, like, as soon as they get there.
I'm going to go ahead and say Burt Reynolds was the Hammer of this movie.
Okay, good. Good choice. Very good choice.
Rick?
It's hard to argue it.
Rick doesn't want to vote.
Rick doesn't want to vote. His wife must be sitting beside him.
I'll vote for Rick.
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons.
All right, we got
Rick voice.
So we're all split 4 ways.
J.K. Simmons.
We're split 4 ways because
be...
Rick picked J.K. Simmons.
Yes.
It's got to be Megan Fox, Bill.
It doesn't have to be anything.
Because she's hotter than 2 pennies rubbed together.
But dude, she's frogging what's his name now?
This is in 2009.
Hey.
Machine Gun Kelly, and he looks like a soup sandwich everywhere he goes.
Yeah. That just gives more hope for me, Bill.
Yeah, she's lowering her standards.
Stick my finger in a light socket to do my hair in the morning and get a neck tattoo. I too could have, what's her name? Megan Fox?
Yes.
Yeah.
James, you're going to bat for the little man, and I really appreciate it.
Got some stiff competition.
Yeah, it is stiff competition, but I'm
Well, I
taking
just got my eyebrows shaved off at the Great Clips in Springfield, Tennessee. So
Well, you
I
probably
don't
had your bangs too low, and they were trying to shape them up.
Yeah, because they got a 10-minute limit, and they don't take their time.
All right, so what were we even talking about? Opening scene.
Well,
She's
my
gay
generic
for
haircut.
Needy's gay for Jennifer, but no, we're just friends. We're best friends.
My 10-minute generic haircut. Great Clips, if you hear this,
Sponsor.
I'm a good sponsor for Great Clips.
Spokesman.
No rules, just right, Bill.
You know, to prep for this role, and we already know that she's an undead chick eventually. Megan Fox lost, I mean, you could consider it a decent amount of weight for her small frame because she's a little bitty.
She's too little bitty in this movie.
Yeah, she's little bitty in this movie and is under 100 pounds. And, like, she stayed out of the sun. Like, honestly, though, I'm not impressed. I've been staying out of the sun for, like, 20 years. You don't hear me clamoring for recognition.
They better start, though.
You know what? I've been out of the sun since I had a son. And he just turned 19. So,
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Alex.
Because he's listening. We know he is.
God, you know he's not. He's probably
Maybe
embarrassed by
someday.
it. He's probably embarrassed by it. Yeah, after I'm dead and gone, we can't share it. I just want to hear my dad's voice one more time. Here I am talking about Smooth My Balls and their shitty marketing.
They'll
Bill,
know you like they know you
In
now.
no way, shape, or form can he listen to this because his, whatchamacallit, office, what is it? It would ruin his reputation as a state representative, senator, whatever.
Is
Any
that what
form
he's...
of office, any form of office, he could not.
Yeah, he
These
does
tapes
not
could never
want...
get out, Bill.
Yeah, this is going to have to be suppressed after X amount of time. When we see downloads stop happening, we're going to have to just suppress this completely. I mean, that kid is, he's politically minded, government law, he's on his school's student government. So, yeah, this is only to his detriment that we're doing this podcast.
Alex, your uncle was once in student, what's it called, Bill? Student
Council?
representatives. I was the president. I was the only president to be impeached in Westmoreland presidential history. So
It's true.
don't follow my footsteps. Don't follow your uncle's footsteps, Alex. Into the
Because he's following Bigfoot's footsteps. And it's the wrong road to be on.
into the realm of social politics.
So, Rick, you said that this film didn't do so hot in the box office, but it is a cult. It's got a cult following, and I think it's
Right.
because of the DVD sale.
Oh.
Like, it's well into its life as a film. Is that right, Casey? Like, this thing didn't
So-
start picking up steam until much later.
Yeah, it really kind of grew later on, as most cult classics do. But with this movie, there's a lot of talk about the way in which it was marketed. Because this movie, if you watch it, it's a horror comedy, right? But with this and many other movies we've seen before, it's really campy. It's silly. It doesn't take itself too seriously. And it was marketed as, like, this uber sexy, like, serious movie.
And it really
And that's
wasn't.
not what it was. It sold itself
Yeah.
to the wrong audience, I think, based on the marketing team of this movie was entirely made of men. And for it to be like woman written, woman produced and directed, I feel like it could have been marketed more accurately for it to have done better.
You see, and counterpoint that I have
No
to
men
that
were
is-
harmed in the filming of this movie.
The counterpoint to that would be that I myself, and this is only anecdotal, that when did this drop?
2009.
2009. Okay, so in 2009, I didn't even know this thing existed until it was on DVD. Okay, I picked it up and watched it way back then and didn't get campy vibes out of it. I didn't get any comedy vibes out of it. I thought this was one of those, again, teen horror films with an it actress like Megan Fox, but I also took it as it was meant to be serious. And I thought it was just not that good for being a serious horror film.
I don't think it was comedic, but
You
I
don't
did
think
just
this
watch
movie
the
was funny?
trailer, so
I did
Oh my
not think
God.
this movie was funny.
Yeah, I didn't think it was.
You didn't think this movie was funny?
And that's the only thing that I thought was funny were some of the like the high school one-liners, and I thought that maybe Megan Fox's character was kind of amped up to 11 on her flirtatious scale, but that's how like you would flirt with a high school kid at 17, you know? So I didn't really take it as
she was
humor.
also possessed by a succubus, Bill.
Yeah, I know that, but that's not taken away from the point that it wasn't comedic to me. I didn't see anything. I'm not saying like I didn't find that funny at all. Well, I mean, I didn't find any punchlines. I didn't find anything
This
that was.
girl humor does not amuse me.
No, listen, I am waist deep in the middle of Dairy Girls for the third time. Dairy Girls is a show Dairy Girls, and it is it's a series on Netflix that I love, and I'm watching it for the third time. So don't you tell me that I don't get female humor. I get female humor and female Irish humor. So
This is almost up there with the honeybees, Bill. I like Dairy Girls and honeybees, and I'm 700% Irish.
I don't know. So when this movie came out, I was 16 years old, so I was around the age that the girls in this movie are supposed to be. Now, clearly they're not. They're older
I
than
was 40.
16-year-olds.
You're
Yeah,
at the
well,
apex. You're at the apex of watching this movie.
Kind of. So I was
That's
a
why
16-year-old girl.
That's
I was
why
in
you
my
have
early
such
20s.
an impactful memory of this movie.
Well, kind of. I mean, okay, so watching this
Well,
movie...
I'm not saying nothing's wrong with that. I'm just, showing why you like it so much.
No, yeah, and I'm speaking to the fact that you're not wrong, because watching this movie I thought it was hilarious at the time. I still think it's funny. Obviously, there's a couple things that haven't aged so well. You'll catch them as you see them. But I thought this movie was really funny. I thought this movie was really entertaining. And I thought it was interesting because, and I'd like, if you guys get out there, get into reading articles and stuff, one that I read last fall, and I went back and found it for this podcast. It's called What Megan Fox Taught Me About the Power of Subversive Girls, and it's by Lena, Lena Wilson, for the New York Times. Highly recommend it. But it talks a lot about the subversive horror genre. So I grew up with a lot of the movies that we're watching on this podcast, a lot of Final Girls. In Carrie, we see an example of someone who's bullied, overcomes struggles, and coming back to fight their enemies. But with this, we get to see some of the coming up to fight back, but we also see what happens when the girl is the attacker, is the bully. Like, because Megan's not nice, or I'm sorry, not Megan. Jennifer's not a nice character before she gets possessed.
yeah, she's not. She's
a bitch.
Yeah, she's kind of a bitch, but she's also like not overly bitchy, but she has a streak of arrogance in her.
Yeah.
Where she kind of takes along, much like I did with James many years ago, she takes on the much, much, much less attractive friend and tells her that you can't dress a certain way because I don't want you to upstage me. So those big boobs, put them away. Okay, that's my thing. I want you to look like, a homely librarian, but just with a little cute twist.
I get to look hot.
Yeah, I get to look hot.
So you see this girl that from the beginning is not like super innocent or super, friendly or nice. A lot of the movies that we're seeing, like Friday the 13th, The Final Girls. I know, later we'll watch movies like A Nightmare on Elm Street or Halloween. And we see a lot of these girls who are like, not do nothing bitches.
Wholesome. And
I wouldn't say Jennifer's wholesome.
Nah, definitely not wholesome, but at the same time not atypical to real life people. Like you know those people.
Well, and I don't think they could be like particularly overdone because she is supposed to be like 16, 17 years old.
Right.
So for them to be really dirty would be kind of out of line anyway. But watching this movie, I think, that's part of why I really enjoyed it. So we see this character who is kind of a bitch, and she gets her friend who she kind of dictates how she dresses, like you said, and they're going to a bar to see a band from, quote-unquote, the city, because it seems like these girls kind of live in a middle-of-nowhere situation.
Yeah. Well, one-horse town.
With a beautiful waterfall.
With a great waterfall. You got
Canada.
Chris Pratt's going to be your chief of police in about 10, 15 years.
Minutes.
Oh, yeah. But
So then we meet this band, Low Shoulder, the cool band from the big city.
I
Yeah,
have many problems with this band.
yeah.
Rick, this type of music does not go up your alley whatsoever.
Hell no. And when she was like standing there playing pinball, and she has that Spider-Man hearing apparently, and she can hear everything, and she heard him talking about her girl, I was like, what the fuck?
Well, yeah, but not only that, but once they actually start singing, what's going on with this guy's posture that he's got to torque his body to sing into the microphone like he's being possessed? You know, he's like just leaning over sideways and singing like this. I know the listeners can't see that, but it's pretty terrible. Very, what's the word I'm looking for here? I wouldn't say stereotypical, but
Ferocious.
I'll go with that. I'm not gonna come up with it in the next hour and a half anyway.
I'll say that as someone who watched the OC growing up, I was obsessed with Adam Brody, and I was very excited for him to be in this movie. Even though
I never watched it. I do
sucks.
remember it coming out though, because I was
on-
in San Diego, stationed in San Diego, when the show was new, and I knew I saw this guy from somewhere, but he wasn't like the main star, right? The blonde guy was the main star.
There was like a top 4 listing, and he and the blonde guy would have been the 2 lead males.
Okay.
But he's not a great guy in this movie.
Well, you said that like they couldn't get too explicit, too dirty with these characters, but there's very much some pretty adult related shit written into this movie that didn't make the cut.
Yeah, it kind of got dialed back a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Do tell, Bill.
We'll have to get you the director's cut, James. Get you the treatment for Diablo Cody's manuscript.
Who's Diablo Cody?
The right.
Oh, yeah, that girl that wrote this movie.
Yeah.
Picture, if you will.
Risky business.
Risky business.
Well, you know, Amanda Seyfried did, say
Writing
that.
as a 16-year-old is risky business. Onward.
Onward and upward. Amanda Seyfried admitted, like in interviews, that she's, she really, quote unquote, enjoyed her love scene with Megan Fox. She said it was really exciting. Jennifer's Body is my favorite movie that I've done. She said it was overlooked in theaters, but it does have a DVD following. I can't believe that nobody wanted to see Megan Fox and me hitting it. Hitting it, James. I don't ever want to hear anybody laugh at me calling it the hibbity dibbity again.
Again.
I will not comment on that.
Good.
Well, yeah, because initially, like, we see this, immediately Needy gets called out for being quote unquote lesbic gay.
Yeah, lesbic gay.
This movie's super sexual.
Is that a religion? Lesbic gay?
Nope.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, yes.
Might as well be.
Their deity is Ruby Rose.
I feel uncomfortable right now.
Well, you're about to get a lot more comfortable, James. Just wait.
Well, let me
So they go
settle
to
into
this
something
bar.
comfortable.
The bar catches fire, and from there they escape through like a bathroom window.
I never understood how the bar caught on fire.
The band. No, nor did I.
For a
Sometimes bars
moment.
catch on fire, though.
Yeah, they do. They do. But it seems like, first of all, when it happened, the band member, the singer, was way too calm about it, like he almost expected it. But at the same time, I'm thinking there's like some kind of Carrie situation going on. But I know that Megan Fox isn't even possessed. Jennifer's not even possessed yet. So that was just circling in my mind for the entirety of the movie. Like, how did that fire start? Maybe I'm thinking about it too much. Maybe it just happened. Maybe the band members, the douchebag band members, rigged their amplifiers to catch fire at a certain note. When I play this G note, it's going up in flames.
Maybe the fire marshal wasn't there to tell him there's too many people in there.
Chris Pratt was there. He should have been doing his job.
He was a police officer, Bill, not the fire marshal.
Yeah, but he should have been on it. He should have noticed that
stuff
shit.
like that. He's too busy looking at all that trim walking around there, Bill.
That trim?
That's right.
Man, we're getting into some real backwood talk here. It's that kind of barnyard language that's keeping keeping good companies like Dollar Shave Club from sponsoring us. Carry on.
That and everything else.
That and everything else.
Well, excuse me for talking.
So the bar catches fire, the girls escape, they run into the band, and Jennifer agrees to leave with the band, a move that I don't recommend ever.
Never. But it
Yeah,
also had something to do with the drink, right?
But why is
Yeah.
it so calm? Like, why is the lead singer like, oh, here, have a drink. That thing's on fire, and no one fucking called 911 because they're stupid. Here, have a drink. What the fuck?
That's what made me think that they were behind
Like,
it.
yeah.
I mean, because when he like immediately finds them outside, and you know,
within
there's
seconds, yeah.
within seconds. Like at first, he didn't come from the side of the door where everybody's running out. He comes from off in left field somewhere. He immediately finds the girls, and it almost felt like a metaphorical conversation. Like he was too matter of fact, and Jennifer was too hypnotized, even before the drink. But like, you know, Needy is clearly thinking, like she's confused like I'm confused though. She's taking it a little more at face value. So I could be overthinking this scene, but did this feel like a metaphorical conversation to you guys? Like, he's quick to answer everything, gets her in that van. She follows almost like a lemming, and nobody ever stops her or questions her.
It seems like they've done this a few times, Bill.
Yeah.
The old Cosby
Well,
effect.
had they though? Had
Well,
they?
I don't
Because
No, I don't think they had done this before because they had said, like, you know, bands only get big these ways. Deal with the devil's the only way to do it.
now, James, to your defense though, I do think they probably have done that part. We're talking about slipping Mickeys and drinks.
Yeah.
But the devilish part, probably not, because I mean, if they had, they'd
We ain't
already
even
be
got
famous.
to that yet, Bill.
Fine.
I'm just talking about why everybody seemed so nonchalant about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is weird for sure. So then Needy gets home, calls her boyfriend in shock. Like her saying, well, yeah, I'm okay, but, you know, there's a fire and people who passed out got run over, or, you know, you could hear the bones breaking. Like, very stressful conversation for someone who started the sentence with, I'm fine.
Yeah, and Justin Bieber, who's laying there in bed, like, he doesn't give a flying fuck about Jennifer,
No. Who is missing with the band, of course.
who is in the most immediate danger.
He doesn't care, though. He doesn't like
He d-
Jennifer.
No, because there's, you know, a tragedy that, I mean, you don't want to compare tragedies, but those people are probably being taken care of by authorities, whereas he can hop up out of bed, help Needy find Jennifer, but he's not
And
with
doesn't.
it. Does not.
Good news, though, we didn't have to look that hard for Jennifer. Needy hears the noise in her house, goes to investigate, and Jennifer looks like shit.
Oh yeah, I mean, she's a fucking zombie. She's something, maybe not a zombie, but undead.
Dripping in blood from the mouth.
Yeah, she's something else. Like, she's no longer, you know, the bad actress from Transformers. She's a bloody mess and is vomiting motor oil in large quantities. It's not real motor oil, but
It kind of looks like motor oil. They did it with Hershey's syrup and CGI, but motor oil
she's never
looks...
looked better.
I don't know about that. But she's throwing up like crazy, tearing apart a rotisserie chicken and just eating it with her hands.
Well, that wasn't that weird though. I've seen James do that. Like, I've totally seen
That
James
is
do
commonplace around here.
Yeah, he'll pick it up and
Part of the
bite
reason
it.
we can't get any good sponsors.
Yeah, he'll shove his fist into the hole of a rotisserie chicken and just, like, eat it off the bone. Like, just rotate his wrist.
I'm like Tom Cruise in Days of Thunder and Billy's Randy Quaid. I got sponsors in the stands.
Are
I don't
you
guess
saying you
y'all
want
seen-
someone to send us rotisserie chickens?
I don't guess you've seen that movie, have you, Bill?
Is there a rotisserie chicken sponsor that we could get?
Kenny
Sam's Club,
Rogers,
Costco,
rotisserie chicken.
Costco, like in Seinfeld.
Hey, I'm Kenny Rogers.
That's Will Sasso, James. Calm down. Chugging that
So yeah,
jack.
maybe the rotisserie chicken isn't as weird as the black moving fluid.
Yeah, no. That's
Hershey
the part-
syrup is what I heard it was. Everybody
Yeah.
likes a chocolate fountain, Bill.
Yeah, but you know, the it's not just the excessive vomit or the rotisserie chicken. It's also this feral scream or just yell that she does that lets you know that she's not in the same state as when she left.
Definitely.
Her makeup has changed quite a bit.
Yeah, there's no chance of that. She also, though, approaches Needy, and it looks like she's gonna bite her neck, but she doesn't.
What stops her though?
Are y'all saying meaty or neaty?
Yeah, meaty.
Meaty,
roast
like with
beef.
a M-E-A-T?
No,
E?
needy, like you're too needy, James.
Oh.
Because that's the girl's name. That's Amanda Seyfried's character's name.
Short for Anita. Needy.
Is it short, though? Because they're the same amount of letters. Same amount? God, what am I? Neanderthal? The same number of letters.
Anita.
Yeah, but the syllables are different.
I need a bushel of beans.
So it makes me wonder, with abbreviations, like why do we say www instead of World Wide Web? It's 9 syllables versus 3.
You are such a grouchy old man.
Well, okay. So she didn't bite her neck. She could have, but she didn't. Like, what's her end game? Is her end game something with Needy, or is it just a continuation of Rampage through...
It seemed like a way to display a choice that she opted not to hurt her because she still knew who she was.
Okay, I'll take that.
That's what I have took it to be. Like, I am choosing not to hurt you, and, like, you're aware of that. Like, I could have, but I didn't.
Yeah, but then after that, though, she's basically playing a game with everyone. I mean, you can further confirms the suspicion that shit's not right because Jen's totally dismissing everything as a joke. And I'm talking about the happening at the bar. But she's, dismissing it all as a joke. And of course, J.K. Simmons with his Buster Bluth arm brings everything back into Seriousville. But I couldn't get past that hand. I couldn't get past the wig, and I couldn't get past the hand.
Yeah, I stopped with the wig and just tuned out anything else.
After watching however many 7 seasons of Arrested Development, I almost took that hand as like the most normal thing. Like I didn't bat an eye seeing that hand until I kind of further pondered it. I'm like, God damn, he's got a fucking metal hand. And we never get answers as to why that happened, right?
No.
We're just supposed to accept that he has a metal hand and not know why.
A metal hand and that hair.
It's like they pulled him in off of another movie set.
Yeah.
So you know what? We had Dom DeLuise as a high school teacher, but he's passed away. Let's get somebody else. Well, we don't have enough time. Hey, they're over there shooting another season of fucking I don't know what. And
Oz.
Let's get of Oz. Let's get J.K. Simmons and just throw this fucking wig and hook hand on him and call it a day.
Wasn't he like a shop teacher, Bill?
I think he was a
Was it
science
shop?
teacher.
I was just saying, I don't think it was shop.
Well, we had a science teacher who had a prosthetic ear, so...
We sure did, James. Oh, my God. Dr. Ruckman. Dr. Frank Ruckman was our science teacher, 9th grade. Really good guy. His catchphrase was...
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy. His catchphrase was, today is the first day of the rest of your life. Very trite. I'm sure a ton of people, have had that same catchphrase. But he was a Navy guy, very by the book, very religious, very political. And I remember, let's see, I guess we can pretty well date this. We were in his physical science class, James, when Bill Clinton won the election. His second term, mind you, not his first term. Won his second term, and I think somebody asked him in the class, did he vote for Bill Clinton? And he says, no, I didn't. But he won the election, so he's my man now. And that was really something. That is the one thing I took away from him, James, was that he didn't vote for him. Never in a million years will you find somebody like that today. Never in a million years. But he said, I didn't vote for him, but he won the election, so he's my man now. Something to be said about people like that. But... What? Didn't we get yelled at by him, though, James?
Yeah, several times.
No, I know one really bad time. Like, he stopped class.
Well, didn't it make him lose his mind one time?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the time I'm thinking of. What were we doing?
I really don't know.
I think I remember. We were putting, licking those plastic spoons and putting them on our nose and just sitting there forever. And I guess it was drawing attention from, other kids. And he fucking stops class and he says, Mr. Brown, and you, young man, nobody fucking knows who I am. I don't live in Westmoreland.
Who are you?
Who are you?
And how did you get here?
Oh, man. R.I.P.
Mr.
Dr.
Brown and Mr. Brown's acquaintance.
Sorry to get off track there, guys. R.I.P. Dr. Frank Ruckman.
Fell off a ladder.
What?
He fell off a ladder and hit his head.
You're thinking of Dusty Road.
Well,
Did he go out the same way Dusty Rhodes did?
yep.
Risky business.
Risky business cleaning out them gooders.
Gosh, that's terrible.
Baby.
Okay, well, there's story time for the day. Sorry. Well, whatever has afflicted Jennifer in this
What
film
would you
is
think if Coach Allen
God.
called in on this podcast?
James, nobody on earth knows who Coach Allen is except us.
Yeah,
will
but he
get
couldn't be listening.
We will get nowhere talking about Coach Allen, but we're going to later. We're
They're
going to
boys.
later. But listen,
On his
whatever has
podcast.
Jennifer afflicted is bringing out her personality, her true personality times 100. Because she obviously has no interest in Justin Bieber, nor in the emo guy that comes along later until Needy said that she thought he was pretty cool. So it goes back to Needy not being able to dress in a way to upstage Jen as a regular human. Jen may have known she was a babe, but might have been a little bit elitist about it. Like if she's going to be hot, she's got to be the hottest. If there are boys around, they better have her as a first pick, and there cannot be someone that Needy is into that Jen hasn't been able to dismiss first. I might not be dead on balls accurate with this one, but I think there's something that I'm scratching the surface to here.
Can I apply another aspect of this theory, of which I do agree?
Apply what you will, as long as you can find it.
I will.
Yay.
It goes the other way too, right? So she wants to be the hottest between her and Needy, not Nikki. She wants to be the hottest. She wants to be the coolest. She wants the most attention. She wants all the boys to like her first. I think she feels the same way about Needy for those boys, because she's into Needy too.
Yeah, but is she prior to the possession?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
Was that ever established?
No, but they make a big point in the movie to voice that she's bisexual, which I think gives some kind of ambiguity to it, but also, they make the point of, I go both ways or whatever, all that stuff. But she also, you could look at her making Needy dress a certain way as her being controlling of how much attention she gets, both from being jealous for boys and being jealous for Needy.
But she never has much of an issue with the boyfriend, Justin Bieber.
I mean, she doesn't like him and she makes fun of him. It doesn't clear that it is not clear, I don't think, that she hates him, but we can tell that there's a mutual dislike of one another.
But she doesn't treat him any differently than she treats everybody else.
I don't think she likes him. Do you?
I don't think she likes anybody. I think she feels above a lot of people, most people. And I don't think that
I think she likes Needy.
She may very well. I think she keeps her around
if
because
we're looking at a movie that later on had a sex scene between them that was cut, I don't think all that's just because she was possessed by a demon. There's definitely attraction made between them. It's pointed out by other people. It's pointed out by them.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair.
I think it's fair to say that she has a thing for Needy.
I feel like that should have been implied prior to the possession in order to establish that.
Yeah, I wish they had done more with it, but I think this movie is very open sexually as far as Jennifer's attraction, and they make it super clear, and it's kind of unmissable.
I think she's just a horny teenager and really wants anybody that looks like something.
I mean, I think that's fair, but I think the movie makes it clear to establish that she's bi.
Right.
For her openly saying, I go both ways.
Right. That's definitely an open establishment. But what I mean is to have some sort of, and I'm thinking along the lines of High Tension, where there was an established, I like this girl in secret. And so I'm doing all this because I've mentally snapped and I want her for myself. I don't get that same vibe with Jennifer's body. I think there's a time that comes up that Megan Fox's character says, you know what? I guess we can go ahead and do this, get this out of the way. But I don't see that she's a target for her affection. I don't think she had designs on Needy. I think it just came up and said, you know what? I'm horny. I want to get after it right now, so I'm going to do this. And again, her personality is amped up times 100, so she's going to act on it now, whereas she might not have acted on it before. I guess what I'm saying is it's physical, but not necessarily romantic.
Interesting.
James.
Thank you, James.
Your voice was really deep.
Well, thank you, Bill.
So we've got that established. There's something there. I might have laughed more than I should have. Can we skip forward to the Justin Bieber and Needy sex scene? Or is that too far?
I mean, let's brush.
Was Justin Bieber in this movie?
That's what Billy's calling the guy with the floppy hair.
Floppy hair. He's got bangs like yours, James.
Justin Bieber. I ain't got no bangs, Bill.
This is
Not
why you got your
anymore. She took 'em off
not
of your
anymore.
eyebrow.
Not anymore. Now that you got your eyebrows yanked off.
You got that.
I got my hair slicked back, Bill. I'm a
Yeah,
Dapper
so-
Dan man.
You didn't go to a barber.
I'm a Dapper Dan man.
We can go through briefly what happens, which is basically that Jennifer starts killing boys at the school.
Well, that ain't right.
That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, that's.
Well, it still ain't right.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I thought you meant that I was wrong. I was like, what?
Damn.
He's saying Jennifer's wrong. She ought not be doing that to them boys.
I'll not be doing that to them boys.
See, you didn't have an issue morally until she goes after the football guy, James. Don't let your personal life bleed into this podcast, James.
That's where it gets my goat, Bill. When they go after the football players.
That's where I put my foot down.
So Jennifer starts killing boys with not a lot of discretion and not a lot of specificity.
Mm-mm.
She kills the football captain. She kills the little goth boy.
I think
then we
technically
get to
he's
meet-
emo.
Time out.
I am so sorry.
That's an Ultimate Warrior not word.
What?
Specificity.
Ah,
What's it called, Bill?
Specificity?
Yeah, but what did Ultimate Warrior say?
Destrucity.
Destrucity.
similar.
To James, it's exactly the same.
That's all I heard when she said that.
So shortly after Jennifer goes on this quote-unquote date with the, emo kid, she destroys him, tears him apart. And then we cut immediately as that's happening.
Oh yeah, this is simultaneous, right?
Yeah, we're juxtaposing this scene to Needy and her boyfriend having sex.
Yeah, and I might have laughed more than I should have at this. I think they're both virgins, right?
I don't know that they say that, but I think it's definitely implied.
Okay, well, I mean, this losing virginity scene to me with Needy and Justin Bieber, and when she starts breathing heavier and like grabbing at his back, and he's looking like, well, all right. Like, this was a lot like my first time, and I think that lady charged me too much. But this was a really funny scene to me, and it should not have been.
I mean, I think you're supposed to recognize that it's super awkward seeing Needy and this guy have sex.
It is, but his face, when he gets that little smirk, like she's like really, really gasping for air here. But of course we know that it's because of some evil shit that's going on between Jennifer and Richmond from the IT crowd. The look on his face is what got me. I mean, I don't know. It was a funny scene, and this movie was short on funny scenes for something that was supposed to be a horror comedy.
I think it was fun to see this sex scene back and forth with this murder scene, kind of tying Needy and Jennifer's thoughts, because Needy's going over and seeing, so just driving a connection between the two of them. So Needy knows something happens, leaves, finds Jennifer by almost running her over.
Tasteful dissymmetry, Bill.
Then we finally find out what happened to Jennifer.
Yes. Now, okay.
So, I got a question.
I'm sure you do.
Were these guys that she was killing, were they bad people?
No. She
Hmm.
just needed, well, I mean, we learned later on why. Have we learned at this point why she's doing it? I mean, it's her own sustenance, right? So
Right. We just got to the part where we see what happened to her, but yeah, we know that it's the way that keeps her like beautiful and like powerful.
Alive, basically. I
Yeah.
mean, you could easily say that. I mean, what you eat daily is what keeps you looking like you look, right?
Right.
It's just like
Same logic.
Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah.
Why haven't we done reviewed that movie, Bill?
I'm sure
I think
will.
I'm sure we will. I know the director is a piece of shit. Or maybe the writer. I'm not sure which. I'll have to look that
Well,
up.
that's a bold statement right there, Bill.
Well, not when you see what he did, but
You
I'll
done
have to
made,
look that up, I guess.
yeah,
you
you'll have
done
to
made
look it up.
Rick leave.
Here's the thing, like when I think Rick's having audio issues, but the thing is, there's a fine line when you find out that somebody who, was in a movie, created a movie, directed a movie, when they're a piece of shit and they do terrible things, and then you boycott said movie. Well, he or she is not the only person in that film. Like, I watch Jeepers Creepers for, is it Sarah Romer and Justin Long and the lady that tells them, don't go out there. I watched that film for those guys. I didn't even know the director did anything. I didn't even know who he was. You could have told me it was Martin Scorsese, and I would have believed you just because I'm gullible.
I can tell you this. The director of said any movie doesn't mean anything to me. Like, I don't go, oh, so-and-so directed this movie, I'm going to watch it.
There are very few that are like that for me.
I give all movies chances, Bill, no matter who made them.
Well, I don't know that that's true, but I'll see a Tarantino film any day of the week just because it's Tarantino. Outside of him, it's hard to say. John Carpenter, probably. But anyway, how do we go from this important milestone of, the two lovebirds losing their V cards to basically Needy straight up cheating on Justin Bieber? How do we stand for this? How is this okay?
Like with Jennifer?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to think through. Well, I think we get to this really connected point because we see exactly what happens to Jennifer. And
yeah, let's go back to that.
Yeah.
So the story of what happened after they closed the door to that van.
Yeah. So Jennifer basically gets taken by the band, starts looking around and seeing a bunch of stuff of the occult, and seems to think that if she's a virgin that she's going to be let go because they're talking about, needing a virgin for whatever they're about to do. So she starts going along with it like, yep, I'm a virgin. Definitely. For sure.
I don't know how to do the sex.
Right. So maybe you should find someone who does.
Well, I mean, I wasn't really into this flashback scene. And, I kind of see some I spit on your grave shit type happening,
Yeah.
And I'm not down, even though it didn't go down like that. I spent the whole time anticipating. And, even if it had, the worst part of this scene was involving Tommy Two-Tone and the timeless classic Jenny 8675309. That's a whole different situation. The scene itself, I kind of found myself, pulling back from it. I was invested in the story. And if this was going to happen, I was, okay, I'm not with this story anymore. But it didn't happen. They just wanted to sacrifice her.
But I do believe how personal it was and the fact that she needed to be a virgin and all that stuff. I think it is definitely reference to being an assault scene, like a sexual assault scene. The fact that it's so comparable to I Spit on Your Grave.
Every second of it is comparable.
Yeah. So, and I know, reading about this movie and the way critics feel about it and the way this, that, the other, people who have talked to Diablo Cody and stuff about it, it's very much coded as a sexual assault scene, even though it's not, graphic sexual violence.
Well, there's no sexual violence in the scene.
Right.
And,
I'm just saying it's just the call to it without actually being that.
Yeah. So I don't think that, looking back on it in hindsight, it would be fair to look at this film and say, well, I don't want to look at this because it does this. Well, it doesn't do that. And the good thing about films today is we've got IMDb to show us the parent's guide. And
yeah, we on the podcast are a little bit strict about some of the stuff we take in and want to give to you guys. So we're parent's guide users. I know I personally use the website Does the Dog Die, where you can separate out things that bug you and get them pinned so you can search any movie, TV show, book, whatever, and see if, your things that you don't love or your things that you want to avoid pop up to avoid them.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll be blunt about it. We agreed at the beginning of this podcast project that we were not going to do anything with sexual assault. It's just, that's our, what's the word I'm looking for?
Parameters.
Yeah, there you go. I like parameter. That's a parameter that we're not going to touch on because it's not fun. Murdering children? Yeah, let's do it. Sexual assault? Absolutely not. And I think that's fair. But you can find humor in just about anything, especially if the kid was overacting or something like that when, he gets his dome split on Funny Games. Well, you can laugh at that because he's still alive. And yeah. But anyway, knowing what happened to Jennifer makes me kind of want to go back in time and hear what the parents in Christian households were saying at the time this movie, dropped in 2009. Because they were already telling us that AC/DC worship the devil, and this movie did nothing in the way of damage control for musicians and Satan himself.
Yeah, I don't think it does much to speak on the good name of rock bands.
Right. But what it does touch on is demonic transference. Like that's the term. Okay, it's like, you know, it's a very, you know, real debate among like the religious and mental health sectors. And like demonic transference, like just in a nutshell, like the religious sector, not everybody obviously, but those who do believe in such a thing, basically during deliverance, which is like casting out of demons, like demons that leave quickly, they'll look around to see if anyone else in the area has like an opening or a door for them to transfer through. And doors are open if a person is engaged in some like continuing sinful behavior. Okay, so basically that's just a fancy way of saying demons possess those who are sinning. Whereas those in the mental health sector believe that demonic transference is a phenomena that can be best explained by, I mean, they believe them to be ignorant or superstitious people. You know, viewing someone that like has had, say, like sudden onset of, you know, mental illness, or who's become delusional or delirious from other causes, and attributing their behavior to demon possession rather than the genuine cause. So that's where I lie, but different people believe different things. This film doesn't touch on the mental health thing at all. This is, you know, a fictional work for the first one. She's possessed by a demon. But that was the first time I saw those words spoken, you know, in this film, demonic transfer. And I thought it was interesting that they used a real phenomena, or at least a real talking point as the reasoning. I didn't see that coming from the beginning. I thought that she was just a killer.
Yeah, definitely the demonic stuff it gets into is kind of fun. So Jennifer tells Needy that she would have oh my god, that she would have eaten Needy as well, but she didn't want to hurt Needy because of their friendship.
See, James, take a page out of that playbook, all right? Start treating me a little better, asshole.
So Needy's looking into all this stuff with the demonic transfer.
What is going on?
We started using
talk about this and talk about that.
We started using words that are too big for James.
All I can tell you is, Bill, you go looking for this stuff, it'll find you.
Demons.
Leave it alone.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Needy tells her boyfriend about Jennifer. He breaks up with
was
him.
he supposed to believe her? No.
He
didn't give a fuck when she was in a van.
To try and keep him safe, and he goes to the school dance.
Oh,
he knows better.
He thinks he's going to the school dance.
Yeah. Meanwhile, boys are dying in the woods left and right. So how does he get to the dance? He walks through the park.
Through the woods.
Where he encounters Jennifer. And what do we know about Jennifer? She's eating
we know
boys.
a lot about her now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Justin Bieber's about to get ate. Or is he?
Yeah.
He's about to get nibbled on.
Needy gets there. Needy finds out from Beaver's mom that he has gone to the dance. So she kind of intercepts what's going on. She gets to this pool house, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't entirely sure what that room was, but kind of like a pool house thing. And then they fight. Chip dies. Chip's Justin Bieber.
But prior to Beaver dying, she's trying to seduce him, and a really interesting an interesting demand comes from Jennifer when she tells Beaver, "Say I'm better than Needy."
Yeah. And he's kind of thrown by that, you know?
I was thrown by that. I was also thrown by the mom telling the little girl, "No one wants to see your Kiki."
Yeah.
You know, Kiki's a slang word. I thought it was an interesting use of the word. It obviously means vagina.
In that situation, yes.
In that situation. Yes, in that situation. It's a slang term, a really old slang term, from like the 50s, that would indicate a lesbian who's not butch nor femme and did not have a preference for either butch nor femme.
Wow, so it makes that Drake song seem really weird now.
That's probably not what he wrote it regarding.
I think it is.
Yeah, I just put two and two together. So.
Got five. Yeah.
But yeah,
me too.
so he does do that. He asks Chip, or she asked Chip, say I'm better than Needy.
I didn't really know how to take that, but it went back to.
I think it's that endless competition to her, right?
Yeah, like I want to control how she dresses, so I can continuously tell myself that I'm more attractive than her.
So Chip tragically dies.
Is it tragic?
Not that tragically. I didn't really care about him.
I didn't care about him, but I think he was done wrong, other than the murder.
I don't know. He's gone, and I feel nothing about it.
It did feel like a teenage girl dating a 6-year-old boy, though.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get over that haircut. Couldn't.
So we're still fighting. It's down to Needy and Jennifer fighting to the death. Like, they're not fucking around.
It was a really good fight too.
Yeah.
Like in her dress, in her formal dress.
Yeah. And we see
by
them
the way,
fighting.
By the way, before she leaves the dance, you've got J.K. Simmons. I almost said J.K. Rowling. J.K. Simmons on stage with his hand in his hair, and he mentions something about pecan sandies.
Oh my god, you had to.
I had to. Why do you insist on calling them pecan? Why?
Because that's what I was growing up. I was growing up learning to say it, and I was taught pecan.
I mean, a lot of people were taught to say things wrong, and then they correct it later in life.
You probably say redneck ass shit.
Me?
Damn.
Me? Have you seen the people that I consult with? Oh, well, no. Okay, nope. I'm going to back off that argument now. Oh, well.
My grandfather loved
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
James, I say the word "wash" with a freaking R in it.
My grandfather loved pecan sandies.
He sure as hell did.
And my cousin named a band Pecan Sandies.
So we don't have to guess how you're saying it.
You don't have to guess how I'm saying it. And I'm not going to tell you how I say it. But I just told you how I said it.
Clear as crystal.
So do we have 2 for pecan and 2 for pecan?
Yeah, it's pecan. It's not a pecan. It's a can of peas.
We've done this before, and we ran a poll, and the poll was wrong.
No, the poll's right. I'd like to point out that I've been on the right side of both of these polls because showers are at nighttime and it's pecan.
I was on the right side of the shower.
You were.
The shower is wrong and pecan is correct.
I always shower on the right side of the shower.
That's exactly what we meant, James. You're a good man. All right, so the fight scene. Megan Fox, Jennifer, gets a pole run through her. Not the kind I want to do, but the wrong kind. A pole right through the gut. What was that?
She's fine, though.
Oh, she's totally fine.
I thought it was like a pool cleaning thing.
Yeah, could have been.
That's the thing you clean the pool out with, Bill.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So how do we get back to that? That's not where the fight ends, though. Oh, well, that's where the fight ends, but that's
they
not
end up
where
at Jennifer's house.
Yeah, how did Jennifer get back there? I don't remember this.
She just escapes while what's his name is dying.
Ah, yes, old Beaver. R.I.P. Justin Beaver. So we get back to Jennifer's house, and through the fucking window, like a bat out of hell, comes Needy, dressed like the Unabomber, and we have listen, when I read there was a scene between Megan Fox and Jennifer Seyfried. Amanda Seyfried. Jennifer's body. God damn it. I've done this twice. Amanda Seyfried in bed. I was won over when I realized it was a murder scene.
It's a little different. I'm still in, but it's just different now.
Well, that's where she gets her, though. That's where Needy gets her. A knife through the titty.
Famously, my tet. No.
And through the heart. Which is right behind her titty.
The tet. So Jennifer's dead. Needy is in the asylum / jail. Not sure. And through that demonic transfer, Billy, what's she up to in jail?
Oh, she's just sitting there levitating. She's got a little bit of that fucking demon in her too because she got scratched or bitten or something, and it just transferred into her. So now
she's just chilling midair.
Yeah, she's just chilling in midair, floating like my Buddha statue over here. It's not floating, but he's sitting, in the meditation pose, not eating that gruel they're putting through the hole.
Nope.
But she gets out, right?
Yeah, she does.
Mm-hmm.
She escapes.
She escapes and is picked up on the road by a living legend. Not a cameo, but, just as a separate character, as a fictional character. Lance Henriksen. We get him for about 10 seconds.
Horror community representative.
Oh, absolutely. Rick made mention that he was in Pumpkinhead 2. That's where I originally saw him from. I know he was, Waylon in Alien vs. Predator.
And he was Bishop in Alien.
He's done
a lot of voiceover work in video games, too.
Oh, that's cool.
So, that's where it ends.
Is that who that was?
So she gets it from the hitchhike, and she gets to where the band is. Kills him. The end.
And
that was very anticlimactic.
It kind of was because the final fight, I guess, was all about the fight with Jennifer. But Jennifer was never the villain. The band was the villain the whole time, and they just got brushed aside like an afterthought.
The whole time.
The whole damn time, James. Pisses me off.
What a twist. What a twist,
Casey.
Bill.
It's not a twist. It was known that they were the bad guys.
Chicken Little Flea Flicker.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're definitely the bad guys. They're the perpetrator of what's wrong in the movie to begin with.
Right, and so little attention was given to that. Like, yeah, they mentioned it, but it was never the focal point of the villainy.
Not
You
at
know what
all.
I mean? Not at all. And I'm pretty sure that if Nee did go after the band, it was, again, an afterthought, like a post-credit roll, if there ever was one, which I don't think there was. But we didn't get that satisfaction of seeing them really bite the dust, you know?
Yeah, I wish we had seen more of that.
But hey, styles make fights, right? Diablo Cody did a good job writing this. I thought it was a good flick. Not my favorite, but if we're talking demon flicks, possessions, I can go with this one. Solid 7.
This is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I think it's hilarious. I think it's really cool. I think it speaks a lot to teenage sexuality and coming of age. And I don't know, man. I could watch this any day of the week. It's just a favorite. Rick, James, thoughts?
Rick James.
I mean, you're probably gonna hate me, but I'll probably say a 4 out of 10.
Rick, listen, buddy. There's no way that we could hate you
It
any
just wasn't
more than
my-
we already do.
It was not my thing, and I'm just not a big Megan Fox fan, man. I think she should have stuck to modeling.
You know, Rick, you should have gone into modeling.
I should have.
You can model gloves.
I mean, it wasn't the worst movie I've seen. It was okay. It was okay. It just didn't
Is it
really.
Is it the worst movie we've covered on this podcast?
No.
Well, it was.
Oh, see, now you're wanting to draw a really big divide here.
I love the drama.
You
I
instigator.
mean,
Yeah, I am negating.
The Village isn't one of my favorites. I don't consider it a
Ooh, also my pick. TV is hot.
The Village is not a horror movie whatsoever. And
Your mom.
It turns out to not be a horror movie. But until you know what's going on, it is very much a creature feature. You're just twisted at the end when it turns out that the monsters were never real.
Rick just hates me. It's cool.
We knew that coming in.
We did. James?
I'm going to give this movie a 5. I was somewhat confused and bewildered by the lack of nudity, but it'll get you through on those lonely nights.
30 minutes have gone by and I haven't seen one titty. I don't know what to do with myself. I think I'll get a yoo-hoo.
I think I'll sit here and have a yoo-hoo.
All right.
Well, that's what I thought about it. I mean, y'all can take it as you want to. That's just
We are,
my
James.
feelings.
We will take it as we want to. Like, your
Rick got
opinion
so
is not going to
disgusted.
sway anybody.
Rick got so disgusted he left.
Walked out of his own home.
Walked right out in the street.
To hell with this. No, but if
Well-
we're talking demon possession films, it's worth a suggestion. I think it's worth a suggestion to friends. Just because you're a movie snob, James, doesn't mean everybody is.
Bill, I would say, Bill, watch this movie.
If I ever suggested a movie to you, you would just
And
say
you would
that
never
I've already
watch it.
seen it. I would have watched it.
And you would never
James.
watch it.
I would watch it. I think we're on with
Just
the
like you
wrong
do.
people because Casey is very aware that I will not watch something that somebody tells me to watch.
Every other movie I've mentioned, you don't watch it.
That's not
I
true.
watch anything Billy tells me to watch. But if I suggest something, no.
That,
Who's dribbling that basketball?
I think
What?
it's you, James.
I think that's
Oh.
Rick bouncing his nuts off his keyboard.
If only we had got that sponsorship.
Yeah.
I know.
Well,
What spine-tingling movie am I watching this week?
whose turn was it to pick?
Billy, it's you.
Great, another Friday the 13th.
Listen, guys.
Were we gonna do like a live stream thing and watch a movie all together? 'Cause
Clark Dukes.
Listen, guys. This is the whole thing for me. Okay?
Wrecked him, damn near killed him.
The whole thing for me is my pick is going to fall on Sunday, Halloween night. And I don't know how this is going to work out. But my thought is that we need to keep the film under wraps. We don't know what it's going to be yet. But what we do know
I don't know shit.
What we do know is that this is going to be a live stream of the podcast on Halloween night as we attempt to do a watch along. And in order to find out what the movie is, you're just going to have to tune in. You're going to see our links pop up all over our social medias. And yeah, join us Halloween night. Probably going to start about 6:30 p.m. Central Time. At 7:30 Eastern, and we'll be here for the duration of the movie. And we'll make sure that it's something that people are going to have free access to, like something on Tubi TV. Free app, free movies.
We'll take
care of you. We'll take care of you. But yeah, live stream, Slashers and Screamers podcast.
How's it going to be a live stream if we're not going to tell them what we're watching?
Because they're going to tune in, James.
Because it's live.
Oh, shit. Glad I got my haircut.
Well, we're gonna start streaming probably around 6:30, and during that time, we're gonna give people a chance to pull the film up, and of course, we're gonna advertise between now and then. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Get to spend the holiday with some of my best friends.
The worst people you know.
That means I have to put clothes on, Bill.
You don't have to.
You have to wear your costume.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm going to be a farmer this year, Bill.
We all have to
good.
wear our costume.
I can probably pull out a costume.
Well, I'm wearing mine on the 30th because I'm going to a Halloween party. So.
Well, you better whip it out again for the 31st.
All
Damn right.
All right.
There you have it.
That's exciting stuff. See us next Sunday. Physically, see us.
Facts on facts.
Well, next week it is.
Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.